for free. All right, so on the defense first, it is going to be Tempo Storm. And it looks like, uh-oh, are they running triple?
Oh man, they are, and this looks like this is honestly, I think, our first look at this real triple comp, like triple support, triple tank comp, and they're staying very pure to it. They're not mixing any DPS, any Hanzo in on the other side. But I wonder how like Kong can react to this, because this is actually a very interesting thing where a lot of pros have been talking about. It's very hard to break through this triple tank, triple support. This might be the new the new double Winston, the new meta in that aspect. So I'm very excited to see how they react to this, and if there's any changes that they make in their lineup in that aspect.
Yeah, you know who won't be excited is probably Too Easy, but that is neither here nor there, as he does not have to play against this right now. We do have some really interesting stuff coming out from KongDoo here, though. They're running Winston, which is of course where we want to look at first, as Bibble has had a phenomenal game. But while they were running a Hanzo into it, now it looks pretty standard. No Reaper on this, which is what everyone always asks. Why do you not run a Reaper into this? But right now it is Bibble going into the backline, trying to get all that damage done. Does he get out for free? No. Mini takes down Hoon first. There goes Bamboo. Brad Expert takes him down. Naptime does go down to the Genji of Dongjun. There is a sleep dart on to Bibble to keep your jokes at home, and now it is just a brawl down there. Mangachu finds himself in an odd position. He's getting healed up by the Ana, though, and they are able to retreat into the corner. Dijong does take down B-Drop, who was on that Ana, though. It is only one kill for the side of KongDoo, though, and right now the triple looks pretty good. Look at these ults! My goodness, they already have 3 ults up.
Yeah, and this is the dangerous part, is that there's just so much sustained through this initial tank, so even if you burst through some of them at the very beginning, you run into the problem where you can't just sustain the fight, and I think that's what KongDoo was trying to take advantage of. They were trying to race in, trying to beat up a Mangachu, takes out Dongjun, which is already huge, and that Earth Shatter clears up Ditzy. Ditzy just on the ground. He didn't bother going for it, but he manages to push them back. They need to come up with a different answer to this. This composition is just not doing what they want, and that Winston comes in with a Primal Rage just to push them off, and that might be all wasted.
Maybe. It does buy them time to get back on, though, but the Graviton comes in from the other side. Graviton, there comes the Ana Dart, because the only thing to... Right, so this is why it's so strong. One of the best things to counter a Graviton is a Transcendence. Everyone's in there, everyone's getting healed up. You know what counters Transcendence 100%? It's a basic ability, and it's on B-Drop's kit. That Health Grenade denies all the healing. You can Transcend all you want, and you burn out an ult for a basic. Ana is the linchpin of this composition, whether you like it or not.
That Deadeye could be a little instrumental in terms of, but Mangachu's coming around the back right now. He sees that Deadeye and he's going to pull them. Oh man, pulls Evermore, who I guess apparently saves him, but that whole hog is pushing them back and out of place. There's just so much that they're talking about. Bamboo does take out Mangachu though, and Dongjun does take out Napta, and this might be exactly where they crumble down.
Yeah, there was an Earth Shatter there, but they got kind of all separated down. We did miss most of the action from Dongjun, but he did clean up on his Genji. Odd that they're not pushing forward. There it is, now that they know they've secured the cab, because the push forward on the Genji and Zarya is so very important. This is the angle they've taken before, too. Look at this. It's kind of interesting. Most teams push up right up Center Street, but Dongjun is going to go for the cheap kind of poke over the top, pushes them back, consequently ends up wasting that Ana ability that was so instrumental in the Graviton combo as well. He does get out with his life, though, so... We'll see what Bamboo can get going on his McCree. Can be pivotal in shutting down these key targets in the back line, trying to deny B-Dropped on his Ana, who is looking for another alt target. They are queuing it up.
Oh man, this is all about Hoon right now. Hoon has a great sound barrier for the back in the back line. They went for the charge, but wasn't able to kill Bamboo, so Bamboo actually got some damage off. But takes down Bread Expert, and this is just falling apart right now. They're going to get picked up one by one. They need to back up, reset, and let this triple tank, triple support do what they need to do. But man, KongDoo is just not letting them get in position. They staggered everyone.
Dongjun on his Genji is just absolutely cleaning up. He is on the wrecking crew right now. He has done so much work. The next fight could be enormous, as they have Graviton and Dragon Blade at the ready. It's really easy to just chunk up big balls of meat. No support ultimates available aside from maybe B-Dropped on the AoE healing, but it is not going to be a Graviton. Here comes the Graviton here in. Is there the follow-up? The Transcend gets them out of it. Mini is swinging away on his Ana ult, and Reinhardt, Mangachu, and Bread Expert grab a couple. A huge Earth Shatter comes in late from Bibble. He's able to swing the axe, takes down Bread Expert. Is Mini able to come back? Evermore chipping it. It is a tank battle down there for the ages. Mini goes down, but Evermore still blasting away on Zarya. Finally wiped up. The third tank gets into the mix. Mangachu takes down by Ditzy. Ditzy's trying to go Zarya or Zenyatta hero. He does with the help of you, and the supports finish out that fight. All the DPSs died super early. Then it was tanks and the supports up on cleanup.
the big part of that was Evermore landing that clutch Graviton Surge that kept Mini in that little ball, not letting him use the Ana ultimate. And by the time he got out, they were just able to kite him out for another 2 seconds. So, that's the core of almost the entire composition here. Ana needs to provide that DPS, and we're seeing honestly the troubles they're running into. If they can't win the DPS war, can't change this fight into a 5v6, they run into so many problems in the backline.
Earthshatter comes in Mini on a solo mission. Earthshatter's and tries to get the follow-up. He does pay his life for it, and Graviton comes in onto Tempo Storm. Ezra the cleanup. Sound Barrier comes down, but Bamboo with a giant Deadeye takes down 3.
Oh man, this is just a clinic. This is, oh man, I'm at a loss for words at what's going on right now, because right now it's basically nothing's going wrong. She throws that biotic grenade in there to kind of mitigate some damage, maybe enable some healing, but Bamboo just goes ham and just, takes them all out. And man, this great engage right now with that Sound Barrier, buying so much mitigation down. That Graviton Surge is great by keeping off that Transcendence, keeping them alive, and Mini finally gets that nano boost that wears off so quickly, and Mangachu is just trying to drive them back, trying to push them away, but the rest of the offense is still there. They just kite it back. They can kill Bread Expert, and right now in the backline, Dongjun is still alive.
I think one of the great counters that we've seen to this triple has been this triple DPS in answer. Ditzy with the 3K on his own as Zenyatta there, just Discord and delete is all he's trying to get done. Earthshatter comes in late, but it's Dongjun still alive on his Tracer with the cleanup. Mangachu is going to try to... How is he still alive? Mangachu stalls it out momentarily, but that is a cap. Whew. Yeah, the triple DPS is what just drove that home as soon as they'd find an answer for one or into the other. And some amazing Zenyatta play. If you're going to go against triple tank, your Zenyatta play has to be off the charts, and it was.
Yeah, and that was, oh my god, that was exactly what they needed. But a lot of it about Bamboo being super consistent, and honestly, that was one of the game winners, and that's what gave them the momentum in that last Foundry stage, was the fact that Bamboo got a great full channel Deadeye off and was able to kill so many people, and even through Transcendence. But at the same time, this is a little worrisome, right? Because everyone's been talking about how this triple tank, triple support has been, the cancer of the game, and KongDoo just comes out of nowhere. And Tempo Storm, as we said before, they're not a new team. This is a team full of veteran players and a lot of a lot of set pedigrees and a lot of great players, and they just seem to get rolled. Well,
that word gets thrown around a lot in pro gaming, and all I've ever found that its exact definition is whatever I'm not playing is clearly cancer. Like, no matter what the game is. So if we're playing this, whatever you're playing, it could be the most standard vanilla thing in the world. What a cancer comp. So it's just how the pros look at the game sometimes, but that was a really cool answer. I think Ditzy on his Zenyatta earns a lot of cred there, because that was just, he had 2 triple kills by himself. Now, not anything in Overwatch is by yourself, but it was Discord and delete back and forth all over the place, cleaning up those tanks, and running the triple DPS was a nice switch up too, because they added in that extra damage on the Tracer, which is just, Tracer can be hard to deal with by most tanks, and got a lot of work done, did Bamboo.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just how it works. And then bring in that triple DPS does do a lot, and it might be the answer they're looking for right now. But hey, KongDoo is sticking to exactly what they do all the time. B-Ball is on the Winston. Honestly, we haven't really seen that much difference. I guess Dongjun has finally changed over to the Reaper instead of the Genji on this one, but they're not changing much. In fact, they're still going for the flank.
Yeah, it's triple tank here. We're going to watch Mangachu. He gets a nice hook early. He knows that they're hanging out in the hotel, takes down Dongjun immediately. That is a huge loss for a team going against triple tank. Mangachu is looking for more. That hook is off reset. Can he get back in there for another kill? He is joined by his friend. There goes Fable. Here's another hook. Takes down Zarya. Mangachu on an absolute rampage right now. He's going to try to clean up this Lucio. Hook is off cooldown again. He misses. I don't know how that missed. It looked like it hit. He's going to get some spam up over top on the supports, but some great positioning here early on from these tanks. He hits the hook on Lucio this time. He spams on the ground. Manga with the VM. Mangachu putting the team on his a bovine back, as it were, as the Roadhog comes up huge. Now they're on the chase on the right side. Takes down Ditzy. This is a huge momentum swing for Tempo Storm. Mangachu gets another couple kills. Who is this madman?
Forget about Taimu having aimbot. Maybe we should ask him. Mangachu's using some aimbot here, but this is exactly what's so good. It's a hook bot, but yeah. But this is honestly, this is where Roadhog is so devastating in certain compositions. In fact, he's able to pull people out of their safe positions and force them into their team, and especially with this team full of tanks and supports, that's a lot of damage that's inherently going to get dropped. And B-Drop now has ultimate. Mangachu has the ultimate right now, so KongDoo needs to be super careful on it. They don't have any answers to any of the ultimates.
Well, right now, they just have to have the fear of Hog in them, right? I mean, he's just been absolutely running a clinic on their team. The Death Blossom tries to come in over the top. He spots it out late. He tries to get the hook. It's not going to matter. He's just going to delete him anyway. There goes Dongjan there. Finally gets pressured out a little bit. He has to back out. The tanks are coming in, but Mangachu's still at 600 health. There's a Zarya there. It's another hook. There goes Zarya. Mangachu finally taken down.
Yeah, and a big part of this was how KongDoo would end up dividing Tempo Storm, was just forcing them into the right alley and knowing that, hey, we're going to force B-Drop and a lot of your support to drop out onto the left side. So very smart from them to divide and conquer in that aspect. That might be out of the win, but right now they have a lot of great ultimates up to potentially contain this, this tank push. And Mini and Hui, they have these ultimates, and it's ultimately about using that Earth Shatter and Graviton to change the game. But expecting a great counter engage, Fionn does have the ultimate.
There's no time for counter engage as they sound barrier to start that fight. Does the defense. Dongjun gets in there. There goes Bibbles. That Transcendence comes out a little bit late from Naptime as he was on the ground and separated from his team, trying to keep everyone alive, but separated yet again. 6v3 right now. They're going to be on the chase. Can Naptime get out alive? It does not look good for him. There goes Nangochu. There goes Naptime. That is a full hold on the side of KongDoo here. And, well, I mean, 3:45 left to get to the end. There is 2 minutes left in the time bank of KongDoo, so not necessarily on either side favored yet. B-Drop is going to have his Ana ult at the ready here, so how this works out next is going to be interesting. I would imagine that they're going to try to Ana ult the Reinhardt, which has been pretty standard. He's over there with the Ana, and then Mangachu is going to try to follow it up with his full Hog. They're going to be pushing into a Transcendence, though, is the problem. We'll see if B-Drop is able to drop the grenade off the Transcendence.
Yeah, but it's also about the big flank for them. There's so many offensive ults, and Mangachu's coming around from the back. So you can get a big hook right now. Takes down Bamboo in the background, so all their DPS is down. Fibo does take down Bread Expert, but I think that's just consolation prize at this point. Man, when you lose 2 DPS at the very beginning of that fight, and Mangachu's still going pretty hard, hooks Evermore in, and he just can't get away. Evermore does. Dizzy does take down Mangachu, but man, that was just so good for Manga just to come in from that flank, surprise your DPS, and all of a sudden, I think KongDoo was expecting, hey, we're gonna get some great DPS support from our line back there. We're gonna get that great McCree spam shots. We're gonna get a great pot shot, but when that goes down instantaneously, there's just no backing up.
Well, Manga, despite all the success he had on Roadhog, did switch to Tracer momentarily. He does come back up onto Roadhog, so that was an interesting switch that he was trying there momentarily, but does decide that, hey, why, go with the hot hands here. There comes the Graviton. It is a huge grab, and they try to get the Earth Shatter down. I'm not sure if he actually landed on the ground or was able to get it in, but regardless, the cleanup comes in from Reaper as well. Dongjun gets a couple kills. That is a full hold on defense. However, offensively, Tempo Storm's going to have everything that they want to push with. They have 3 ults, 2 of those tank ults, 4 ults come up now as that is Hui adding in his Graviton. We'll see which initiation starts next. Is it going to be the Earth Shatter? Is it going to be the Graviton? Not a whole lot for KongDoo to deal with, although Sound Barrier should come up. Here comes the Graviton. Is there the follow-up for it? Fable comes in. He's able to take down B-Drop early on in that fight. Transcend comes out from Ditzy, keeps everyone alive. Earth Shatter comes in late, trying to sweep up the mess. He got Spore down. He gets booped off the cliff. There goes Mini from the gun of Hyun off the cliff. Bibble with a nice charge. Naptime gets a kill at the end, but it is all for naught. That is a sorry consolation prize. Another strong hold from KongDoo.
Yeah, and honestly, that's where it kind of went wrong, is the entire crux of this entire composition is Ana. Her nano boost gives you the damage that you need to really fight against 2 DPS, but she goes down so early in that fight.
Death Blossom incoming from KongDoo. They did not see Dongju up there. He is going to come down, takes down both supports. There goes Naptime. There goes Bread Expert. B dropped. Also down on the Ana. It is only the tanks left, and they're going to get chased down by the Reaper as well. Dongjun with another huge cleanup. They did not check above them, although in their defense, it's really hard to check above them. That's just a really nice drop down from the Reaper. Super nice play there.
Good.
Yeah, I will agree with you in a way, but I'm pretty sure Donju was actually on that point last time they lost the fight like that, and he's there again, so they need to, they have to learn from this. They find a way to check something here, and something that, but they're going back in, the Graviton Surge comes back out, holds him in place, and that's just so brutal.
A cool graviton there, though, just kept him into the wall, did not let them drop down behind it, so they just kind of got pulled into a corner of death, able to clean that up. He's at 100% charge, is Evermore on his Zarya as he continues to rain these clicks onto him. Now, the opposing Zarya is You Must Dewey, and he must hit a nice graviton. There's a Sunbear, there's a graviton, grabs 4 into it, the Transcend comes in, but it gets negated. There comes the Death Blossom from Dongjun, takes down B-Drop in response to it. It is back and forth right now, although Ditzy adds a kill as well. 3v3 on the cart as we continue to move forward. Is it going to be Bread Expert and Hui pushing forward? They are. It's only Bibble able to try to prevent them from doing so. It is going to be right now Tempo Storm with the push. They do have the advantage. Naptime has his Transcendence up when the next push comes up. They know they've gotten all they can off the cart. Going to wait for the 3 to remain. Now it's going to be another 6v6 fight around the bend. A minute 17 left to finish out this map for Tempo.
Yeah, and right now that Transcendence right now trying to negate so much early damage, but they can kite this out, they'll be fine. But he pulls down Ju right off, and that person who has been, flanking and been a menace in the back lines of them is finally gets taken down. So this is great on their side right now. All KongDoo can do really is stall out, but man, they're just getting pulled off. English is showing exactly why he's putting that Roadhog, and he's just phenomenal. You need a way to deal with this man, and then that's going to be the end of the game. All that Maywall, but that's not enough on there. It's going to go into like a second round here, but I'm a little tense right now. They only have 51 seconds. That's only one push, and triple tank, triple support actually might be the way to win here. If Ana can get that 1 minute ultimate charge, that could be the entire way to change the game. But I'm just super worried right now. If Tempo start, I'm happy. Sure, I'm happy I completed the map, but I'm looking back at it, and we only have 51 seconds. That's if anyone gets caught out, or 1 minute. If anyone gets caught out here, that's an almost instantaneous loss.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. They're going to have to push in without most ults. As you mentioned, Ana might have her ult up as it charges super fast, so they might be able to get one of those. That is going to be the composition they're going to run, but also I think a lot of it is just going to be, can Manga hit the hooks that he did last time? Because that first push last time that they were able to get through on pretty quickly was all on Manga, just hitting every single one of his hooks and just crushing them. So, Tempo Storm back on the attack. As you mentioned, 1 minute left. That's... They can get it to the end if they just capture and stay on the cart the entire time. It has happened before by a Korean squad by the name of Luxury Watch. However, unlikely. Their best bet is probably just to take this first point. On the other side, when we flip back over, they're going to have 219 for KongDoo to take this point. So, what are we seeing here? It does look like Mangachu will be on the Roadhog. There's a couple snipers queued up, but I'm not sure they're going to stick on those. Those might just be for vision. Hui up top with the arrow. D-drop, yep, they're switching right back to triple tank composition. Yeah, Hui goes over to the Zarya. So, it's all on Mangachu right now. Can he hit these hooks? They're going to rotate up top, but they're not going to find the targets they did last time. They're checking it, though, which is smart.
Yeah, but Donju, great job with the turnaround hold. Mangachu notices we rage for just as that moment comes down now. But You Must Q gets picked off in the backline right now. Minnie's trying to win a fight. It gets 2 DPS deals, but gets taken down instantaneously. And right now, they're not finding the success. They needed to get those catches. The reason why they had so much success in the last point.
4 kills!
The entire reason they had this success was because Mangachu was able to pull Donju out of position before. And now they didn't have the luxury of being up 5 to 6 and being able to let, Mangachu get those hooks and abuse them. And right now, they only have 16 seconds left. B-drop is still only at 74%. They need this right now.
They got to go in. It is 9 seconds left. No one is going to have an ult during this fight, but Mini is going to come in, try to take position here. Bamboo does have Deadeye queued up. Can they correct the shield in time? He just bails out of the Deadeye, decides left clicks are fine, takes down 3 early on. B-drop does get the ult off, but it is all for naught. Mini goes down. Mangachu trying to pull this back for his team, but it's only B-dropped up. That is it. They do not capture the point.
That's just unfortunate, but at the same time, you gotta think about Dongjun being so this guy. I feel like this guy is just such a smart Reaper player in terms of being very cerebral, right? Is that he specifically says, "Well, okay, they know exactly where I am," and immediately changes that position. He doesn't test his luck. He doesn't get cocky and say, "Oh, maybe they won't check again this time." Knows that they're gonna check. He hides in a very plain sight place, behind the wall, knowing that hey, they're probably not gonna check, but immediately raids for him. He doesn't try to get an additional pot shot off. He doesn't try to gain ultimate charge in addition. He just immediately raids forms, makes it back to the fight. But the big problem is that the rest of the team follows up with engagement. They're able to support him, and when Hui goes down so quickly on in the process, that's immediately very damaging. And man, that's gotta hurt. They pulled out a huge composition that showed so much success on that first point last run, but they weren't able to replicate that, and now they're in a do or die situation. They need a full hold here.
Yeah, that is their only win condition for King's Row. Of course, we do have contingencies for a draw even in this scenario, so we do have that figured out if we go there. So it is possible that neither team wins King's Row on King's Row. I don't know, man. This push has looked pretty good from both sides so far. They're running a Hanzo, and that is what the one thing is. It's probably just for the Sonic era, though. This has definitely become a new thing for teams. So we're going to keep eyes on Bibble, as he has been the driving force of a lot of this. Don't you? He gets a kill and be dropped!
Oh, this is huge!
Alright, so they drop in. This is exactly how they've always wanted to push. They just 6v5 before the fight even starts, and one of those is a support sniper already down. Bibble in the backlines getting completely unnoticed. Evermore takes down 2 on Zarya. This could be it. It is 6v3, 6v2. There are only 2 left alive. Now there is none left alive except for B-Dropped, who died immediately through a stray Hanzo arrow. That is going to be KongDoo taking King's Row.
I'm just how did B-Drop get nailed down?
I was
so
looking
quickly?
at Bibble. I guess I got to keep on the Hanzos there. I haven't seen a scatter kill since week 2 of beta on King's Row.
Yeah, but that's game changing right there. That's
6v5 immediately. Immediately 6v5.
And it's on the crux, like we both stressed before. You know, Ana is the crux of this entire team. You can give them additional heals, right? You can negate heals from the other team. All of a sudden, you know, a lot of their healing on the opponent's team is done, but instantaneously just takes them out of the fight, and that's just easy. I think KongDoo was just like, oh, we're gonna go out for some vision, we're gonna throw a scatter shot into the room, kill someone. They're just like, I guess we killed someone, and they immediately engaged. I think there was like a 2-second gap where they were just like, wait, did we just win this game? But
it keeps alive the grand tradition of when a scatter shot came out from Hanzo. It used to be 6 Hanzos, right? Before we had one hero limit way early on. You would just run 6 Hanzos, and everyone would shoot scatters and just pray for the best. And a lot of times it would take down Mercies and Zenyatta's, and it just always took down supports. So in the grand tradition, going all the way back to November 2015, when you scatter just at random on King's Row as Hanzo, you kill a support. 1 time out of 250, but hey, I like those odds. We'll see where we're going to next. It is, of course, Tempo Storm's pick. We're going to be headed to Numbani. Let's see if these sides are right.
yeah, Numbani is a map notoriously for having a very good first point, very nice first point for the defense to hold, but that street phase is notorious for being very short, and honestly, not a lot of teams like the way that if you can gain momentum off the first point, you can punish the defense on the way, because their walk from their respawn onto the second point to defend the streets phase is just so long, and it's not great. There's not a lot of great places to hide or get into position, so it's going to be a lot about this first point hold, which is going to set the tempo for the rest of the game.
Alright, so Numbani. Oh, hold on, I have to explain how sides are chosen. So, kind of newcomers to the Gosu tournaments are KongDoo, so they don't necessarily have the rules memorized as much as, you know, the Northern Gaming Red, now Tempo Storm, CLG, or now, yeah, whatever, Tempo Storm does. So they have to decide if they want to attack or defend first, since it was Tempo Storm's map choice, but sides are good. It is going to be attacking first for KongDoo, and if they win this map, they move on.
Yeah, and man, this has got to be intimidating. Tempo Storm is all of a sudden put on a very uncomfortable situation where KongDoo is on offense for this first point. So, you know, if they can ride this momentum, take that first point extremely easily and push through the street phase, this might be, the last map that Tempo sees. But hopefully Tempo has something in their back pocket, whether it be that triple tank, triple support composition they'd be bringing out. But at the same time, you just gotta be worried. KongDoo has been very, whether it be blind luck or just good coordination, has been able to deal with this triple tank, triple support comp relatively easily.
Yeah, they definitely have some answers for it that I imagine other teams might be studying. I mean, I guess the answer is get a random Hanzo pick on your push, but I think the triple DPS that they ran against it was actually super effective as well. Alright, now Numbani is known widely for being kind of interesting as far as compositions go, whereas your Hollywood and King's Row, you can generally run similar compositions. Even on a Dorado, you don't see something too far out of the box. Numbani always has those little wrinkles that are somewhat interesting here, and it looks like we're going to see one here as Mangachu queued up on the old man 76.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see 76. He did get some quality of life changes in terms of how early I think the bloom recovers. So he hasn't gotten any, like, I guess super strong buffs or super strong nerfs in that aspect, but he has become easier to play. So normal people and not aimbots can do well on him consistently. But Soldier is very strong on here, and this is all about how they hold the upper ground. Soldier has the ability to put a lot of damage, especially like when they force him through that little hallway on the right side. If they force him through there, Soldier has a great advantage of being able to spam, gain ultimate charge, and then honestly have that aimbot, have tactical, tactical. Wow, I can't forget the name of his ultimate, but he has the ability to generate that and gain a lot of hits.
Tactical visor. So we do have a jump in. It's Bibble going up top, trying to dislodge the people up there. That's why you see Winston so much on this map, going for that jump composition. He takes up the high ground yet again. He is able to take down Bread Expert, even though Bread Expert was in that healing field. There's still Mangachu up top, even though he's discorded, able to take down Bibble. That is 3 kills. Naptime, Mini, Mangachu, all team up to get a ton of kills. Ditzy is not long for this world as he is chased down in that fight, and despite the discord on Mangachu, he was able to successfully stay alive up there. They might end up having to switch this up, add in a second dive tank, even though I don't think I've seen Evermore off of the Zarya yet this game.
Yeah, I mean, he might honestly consider that Zarya is just too important with that ultimate up. But right now, they have the added benefit that the defense does not have as many ults as they would have if they won a super solid team fight. Evermore and Hyun did back off immediately during that team fight. So it's all about gaining ultimate charge. Winston goes in the back line, tries to restore.
Mangachu bails out very quickly, though. They do not follow up through the hallway, which is generally what you see a Winston want to do. You just chase him all the way through. Bibble and Evermore, their team up. Evermore staying on that Zarya, as I mentioned, able to get a couple kills. Bamboo takes down Mangachu eventually as he is punched into the hallway. It is only Bread Expert alive who is being absolutely bopped around like a balloon by that Winston. That is going to be first point captured by KongDoo. And they didn't really have to use any ults. Bibble did use his Primal Rage, but look at this. There's going to be 5 ultimates up for them by the time they fight next.
Yeah, and that's the big news right now is that on the side of the defense, there's not a lot of ultimates right now. Naptime still has 86 and Bread Experts at 74, which are the ultimates I really want to keep an eye out because that's how they're going to, counter the offensive engagements. But they don't have that right now. Dong Jun is at 92%, so that means 3 or 4 shurikens, and that's all of a sudden another Dragon Blade you have to deal with.
Well, he is trying to get those shuriken pokes in right now. It's going to actually hit the passive charge. He's looking to get to the back lines here. Maybe they forget about it. Graviton comes up. Here comes Dragon Blade. Bamboo with the cleanup, though, as he's the one with the follow-through. Mangachu does clean up Bamboo eventually. Even though Dragon Blade came out, it was Bamboo getting the cleanup on his McCree, and they continue to push forward. Evermore with another couple kills. Not to mention that Evermore doesn't switch off Zarya. There's really no need to. He's been playing a phenomenal Zarya, and I think Zarya belongs in every composition, regardless. Some old-school tactics as Mangachu comes out on his Pharah, one of the best Pharahs on the planet with that golden rocket launcher. He's going to try to get some damage out. Both teams sound barriering those, going to make a lot of those rockets hurt a lot less. Ditzy starts off the kills, gets B-drop. There goes Bibble, takes down Mini, so it is 6v4 right now. Mangachu uses a concussion blast off the edge. A nice spray at the end. Some well-mannered stuff from Mangachu as this push continues. Bibble on the cart now. He has been pretty versatile as far as going from Winston to Reinhardt without really missing much of a beat. I think his Winston's a little better, but not by much.
Yeah, and honestly, this might just be the fact that, hey, we had to push the composition. We don't have to engage anymore. All we're doing is escorting the payload. But I'm not a huge fan. Mangachu switches off the Pharah back onto the McCree. He's finding a hard time finding his footing. I think he's just trying to find the correct answer, and there's not an answer against this KongDoo team, which on it hits a great Earth Shatter, takes down Bread Expert. That's one support immediately down, and Naptime kind of burned the Transcendence that really didn't negate that much damage. But in the backline right now, there's a huge Dragon Blade. Mangachu just goes down again. Hui is just kind of waiting for his death. A great form and trying to buy some more time for the rest of his team, but this is ridiculous. When a single DPS dealer is able to keep both your DPS people, busy, and Mangachu's back on the Pharah. Well, I mean, this is just
it's indecisiveness. It screams of we don't know what we can run against this composition. Nothing's working. Let's just pray. Let's go to our best hero. A lot of times you see players go to what they default as what they think is their best hero when their backs are against the wall, and their back is very clearly against the wall. Make no doubt about it.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, they're running Naptime right now. Right now, Naptime's at 41%. This could be big, and he gets at all to 100%. That Graviton surge into the sound barrier, and this is just not enough. Bread Expert is trying to stay alive. Naptime is trying to stay alive, but I mean, you honestly switched to Mercy a little too late. There's no way you're gonna get ultimate charge in that last moment, and I mean, that's just getting rolled from the street phase. That was exactly the momentum that we kind of talked about at the beginning of the game. Once you kind of get rolled at that street phase, all of a sudden you have all these ultimates looking to that last point. But I'm not entirely sold on that Pharah change right in the middle of the Streets phase. Honestly, I feel like if you stayed on, you know, like if you stayed on, like, let's say like a McCree or something like that, you can gain ultimate charge, and all of a sudden that last point, instead of maybe sitting on like 33% or something like that in terms of ultimate charge on Pharah, you're sitting on like 70%, and that ultimate is just so much more doable. But right now, Mangochu has a fine option. If he sticks to that Pharah, which he might, it looks like he might do. I don't know if he's going to put this on offense, but Pharah is strong on this first map because you can get that concussive blast and knock off any like defenders who take the high ground. So it's not out of the question. And Mangochu and Naptime switches over to Mercy, so this might exactly be what they're looking for. They might honestly just try for this.
Naptime and Mangochu were some of the best combo players in the world when Pharah was deeply in the meta. Naptime was a phenomenal Mercy. I think it's his best hero. Mangochu was a phenomenal Pharah. I think it's his best hero. I've yet to see a team who still really excels at the Pharah Mercy combo. I think the right answer, or the beginning of the right answer, is you can't play it away from your team as much as teams used to be able to. That if you're going to run it, you have to run it kind of like maybe even a McCree in the back lines and just kind of pelt them with rockets from a distance. You can't be doing the giant dives, and you maybe don't even have to utilize her verticality as much. But a lot of times if you're running that combo, you're leaving your team exposed because it's essentially a 6v4 if they choose to ignore you. And a lot of times they're just not getting the damage done that they need to make the team pay enough attention to you to prioritize that combo. But right now I think this is smart, that if you're gonna run it, just run it the whole time, right? Don't be switching off it back and forth, because then that does no one any good. So this is nice that if you're going to run this Pharah Mercy combo, that you just at least start out with it.
Well, honestly, this is actually a kind of weird anti-strategy that's gone on this side. Is I think Mangochu showed his hand. I was like, hey, I am a good Pharah player, and everyone knows it. And Bibble has switched off of his Reinhardt and Winston to play a D.Va. So this could potentially be very dangerous if he's managed to negate the concussion blast.
All right, Mangochu's coming around the edge. He is damage boosted over the side. I think he got a rocket reflected right back at him. I may be wrong though, but I thought, no, they don't even have a Genji, so I must be wrong. It was just a Lucio ball, but he's going to try to get in there. He's playing pretty tentatively right now, getting kind of bullied out of there. His Pharah took a ton of damage. Naptime goes down to long-range Reaper shots. That is not exactly what you want to see. Mangochu has no choice but to go in and try to help out his team over the top, but it is too late. It's exactly what I was talking about. There's 6 on the point fighting the 4 that were not with the combo. Those 4 end up getting cleaned up, but Hui and Mangochu trying to bring this back for their team. Is it going to be enough? It is not, as Hui does go down to Bibble there on his Genji. They were the only ones on that left side trying to pressure. The other 4 went up Main Street, got absolutely cleaned up by the 6 there. I just don't think Overwatch is in a state of the game right now where you can expect 4 to be able to hold long enough for your remaining combo pieces to get anything done on the other side. We'll see if I can be proven wrong. I'm more than happy to do so. Mangochu is going to come up Broad Street now with his team now on this combination, as him and Mercy trying to get some damage boosted damage in. Right now it looks like they're just spamming away, trying to look for their opening. They're going to follow the D-Van, which is really smart, trying to poke out this Lucio. Are they hitting it?
Yeah, Hui activates the Dragon Blade on the backside, takes down Bamboo, but Bilal does take down, you know, Mangochu, which is huge right now. 1 DPS still goes down. Ditzy does take down many, but Bread Expert and B-Drop are cleaning up the rest of this mess. Evermore on the Zarya is still alive, and he might be the big game changer here if he's able to hit a great Graviton Surge, traps him just in the middle, but man, that D.Va ultimate is
it's going to clear things out. Going to clear things out, but it's not enough to clean it up completely. Hui is still on the point, and Naptime has done a great job staying alive. The flashbang comes down, but the deflect comes up in time to save it. Bamboo, meanwhile, has taken down E-Drop. Naptime took down Mercy in the back line, so there will not be a resurrection. They could have desperately needed that out of Naptime. Mangochu should be getting back into this fight soon, but Hui and Mini go down late. They should not get back into this fight. It would be 4v6. Naptime going down there was not exactly what they wanted there, as the resurrection was their next plan of attack, but they will have resurrection for this next fight, and they might just need it. Dongjun has switched off onto a Soldier 76 as well. We're seeing Soldier 76 come back into favor. This has always been a map that's good for him, but it's the first time we've seen this team run it today on any map, so maybe it's just map specific. Mangochu coming in on the top. He's got Barrage ready. Hui, or rather, Naptime has to stay alive for this resurrection. Hui takes down Bamboo to begin. It's a nice start to the fight for tempo.
Yeah, and in the backline, Manuel Dongjun is able to avoid the initial D.Va ultimate, is able to buy some more time. But Mangochu is just going crazy right now. Dongjun is able to take down B-Drop and pops the tactical visor, trying to buy some more time for his ultimate. Evermore is still alive, which is obviously a huge thing right now. And that great D.Va ultimate right in the middle, clearing up space, making sure that he's not going to be engaged on in that middle moment there. But great Graviton Surge just takes down the Mangochu in there. Evermore is able to clear.
There's that res though. They had to get that res. Nap time stayed alive. He stayed pretty far back. But now the follow-up, the cleanup all over this. They took down 3 right off that resurrection. Bamboo continues to clean up on his McCree. He got his Peacemaker out. He is making the piece for this team. Another headshot there. He is deleting players off of this map. We've given a lot of love to both like almost everyone on this team, maybe overlooking Bamboo. He played a great Tracer earlier, which I thought was nice, but his McCree has been absolutely dominating this team. He is not missing headshots at all.
Yeah, and I agree. And but Ball, I mean, we've talked a lot about how good his his Winston is, but his D.Va is just buying so much time for his team to regroup. And the fact is, even after that res, they're resing literally into fresh teammates from the end line. Nap time is in the back line trying to keep Mangachu alive. If Mangachu goes down, that's a huge loss, right? Because your Mercy basically loses. Mangachu does take down Ditsy.
Still alive just now as he gets the barrage off from above. He got a couple nice rockets in there. Him and B-Drop clean up the entirety of this team at the last second. The D.Va ult is nice. It is not going to be enough as the Winston shield comes down, though. Is it going to be enough to stall out? I have had bad times where I've called this point too early. I refuse to do so anymore, so this ticker goes rather slowly. That should be enough to get all the kills. It was really nice there. They super prioritized Bamboo up on the top side. He was trying to get High Noon off. He got jumped by Winston. He got pushed down by Mini, so they finally are able to break it through 2:25 to get to this next point. Back against the wall, though, this is not, I mean, they're not in a great position.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. They had to commit overtime onto here, so they only have 2 minutes left to complete that streak phase. But I want to bring up something very quickly. That D.Va is actually super good in terms of dropping that ultimate, buys him so much time and is able to stall. And honestly, I think that 2 D.Va ultimates may have stalled long enough for essentially, to buy some more time for the team. That Winston goes in the back line right now with it, followed by that transcender.
Dragon Blade at the ready. He cuts out. He's getting some damage in, but not enough kills. Does not get able to reset his dash. He's still in the back line. He's got his eyes set on the Zenyatta. Zenyatta does not have his eyes on him. Maybe he pays for it. He goes down, but Dongjun still on that Soldier 76, which is a little bit rare. You usually switch off it on the second point, but gets the distance damage in. Mangachu still alive, trying to do his best on the Pharah, getting healed up by Naptime, who remains alive as well. They maybe push too far forward. Yes, that's the cleanup on Dongjun as Mangachu continues to push forward. This is where Pharah can really get rolling on a pose with momentum, trying to roll through. Not biting off too much, though, as they know they just need some space. The Primal Rage does get popped a little bit late, but this Pharah is going to be tough to deal with Bamboo currently out of the fight.
Mangachu needs to be super careful. Gets taken off right now away from his team. That's not a great thing. That's a huge DPS. Remember, he gets taken down, and all of a sudden, you don't have res.
And there goes Naptime. Naptime, even if they did have res, would have gone down. Bamboo is back in this fight, and he is cleaning up yet again. This is exactly what a McCree should do. Yes, McCrees can dominate by themselves. What you really want to do is you get those one-shots on retreating low-health targets. Bamboo has done it all day. Look at this all situation. 6 ultimates to work with on Tempostorm's final push to get this next point. Mangachu will have barrage up. Can it be a game changer?
Yeah, honestly, remember on their side right now, everyone was able to negate an earlier barrage with his shield, which is obviously pretty powerful right now. But Dongjun, I think his main goal is right now to take Mangachu out of the sky. I don't think he's looking anywhere else but up in the air.
Sound bears come up on both sides. The barrage comes down, but Winston drops the shield. He drops the shield under the barrage, and Mangachu ends up taking some self-damage and taken down by Ditsy. That is 3 kills very early. The resurrection comes up. Tempostorm's last chance. They're still pushing into 5 ultimates, though. It is chaos all the way down there. Hui is trying to get some work done with the Dragon Blade. He gets 1. He gets 2. Is he going to be able to get more? Get some damage onto the Winston. This is exactly what they needed. Can Bibble be able to bring this back for his team? Primal Rage gives you a lot of health, not infinite health. He is going to jump up and out. They have all the momentum on this. They should be able to get this next point at the brink of death. 90 seconds to close out this map and give themselves a chance to stay in the upper bracket.
Honestly, this is one team fight away from being almost unsavable for Tempostorm. They need Naptime to get that ult up. They need Mangachu to have the barrage up at the same time. But if either of them goes down super early, Mini gets flashbang stunned and then Transcendence is mitigating so much initial damage right now. Donju takes down Naptime. There's no ults and there's no res at all in any of this fight right now. And Donju takes down Mini as well. And this is just getting ripped apart. And the worst part about this is that your walk from your respawn on this point is not super close. This might honestly be cutting it super close to the wire.
Well, they're going to be able to touch the cart maybe, but Dongjun has different ideas. He wants to stay up here, and he thinks that the combo is going to come up here. The positioning from Dongjun, whether it be on Reaper or Soldier 76, has been phenomenal and superior to his opponent's positioning. Are they going to come through top? He's waiting for eyes from his team to tell him if they are. He might just drop down behind on the Soldier. He is. They are going to sound very into this. Dongjun Dongjun behind the lines, though, trying to target down Naptime. Gets some pot shots onto Mangachu from a distance. Makes Mangachu kind of burn his barrage onto him. Bamboo and Ditzy on the front lines, while all this focus is going on to Dongjun in the back lines. He might have Tactical Visor ready. He can pop it. He does not even need to. Naptime does get a kill as he tries to clutch out a resurrection. Can he clutch out this res? It's so close. He gets the last bit of it, but it's too late. 6 seconds left.
Oh man, and that's great target selection from the side of KongDoo right there. And overtime is just touching the cart right now, but there's just not enough time left. And Yumasui is just busy trying to figure out how he can get onto the cart better. But honestly, if you were watching that last team fight at all, Naptime was in such a bad position right now. Bibble and Donju were just pressuring them so hard, jumping to the backline, specifically having super great target selection right there, forcing him into a bad situation. And, you know, you're exactly right. Mangachu literally has to burn barrage on one person and isn't able to really convert that much damage. And that's something that I guess they were saving their entire game for. And their win condition was having that Mercy alive, having that res at the very end. But when Naptime just doesn't feel safe and he's not able to get it, gets pushed out of the way, and you know, sure, he gets play of the game, but
I mean, I was going to leave because I knew it was going to be play of the game, and we have another set to get to that I'm going to try to jump in right away. But I have play of the game's play of the game. Let's give Mercy some love. I'm not the one who just put Mercy on blast earlier. That was at ScribeOW on Twitter. So that's the guy who hates Mercy.
I mean, it's a one in there. So if you're gonna shoot me, aim for the head, dude. It's how it works. But all I gotta say is, I mean, Naptime was able to show kind of how strong, you know, Mangachu was on that Pharah. And, you know, Mercy and Pharah is obviously still a very strong combination. I do see it eventually coming back into the meta, mainly because, you know, right now with air dominance and McCree not having the previous, you know, like range that he used to, I think there is room for Pharah to come back into the meta. I think that, you know, good Mercies are always going to be loved and stuff like that. So they just need to work on that synergy. But the part that really hurts is honestly that it's that one moment, I think, in the game where Mangachu kind of like has the momentum, you know, the Tempo Storm has the momentum on their side, and all of a sudden, you know, he kind of flies a little too close to the sun in a way and gets very close to the enemy team without, you know, support whatsoever, and instantaneously just gets blown up. And from that point on, it's just, you know, it's bad news for the side of Tempo Storm. But KongDoo coming in, you know, coming in guns blazing, this is a new team. This is not a team that, you know, it's like has the status or legacy that we've seen. But this is kind of the scary part, is like last week we had, you know, like Luxury Watch, and this week we have KongDoo. Two organizations that honestly we haven't seen much of either, and they're not big name organizations. They're not huge names like SKT, KT Rolster, or CJ Entis, right? These are honestly newer organizations that kind of just getting into Overwatch, and they're putting on a show. They're definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Okay, we're gonna try to not take a break and just jump right into lobby between FaZe and Rise Nation. Lobby is mostly full. I think we're waiting for one. Faz is trying to watch the end of a football game, which is totally fine. Yeah, the North American teams have yet to adjust. So, all right. We will let him watch his football game. I'm going to look at the lower bracket to see who is going there. Tempo Storm's not out of it yet. If you're a Tempo Storm fan, I know a lot of fans of organizations are just, or a lot of esports fans are just fans of organizations. So when Tempo Storm picks up a team in Overwatch, you're automatically a Tempo Storm fan. That's just how it rolls, because you already bought the jersey. You've already become legendary, as it were. So if you're still a Tempo Storm fan, they are still in it. They're just in the lower bracket now, a chance to rise back up here. But our next match will be FaZe OW versus Rise Nation.
I'm very excited to see this FaZe right now. I mean,